What is good, YouTube, man? Today I'm back with you guys, with the nation, for another video. And today, man, I'm gonna be talking about, the big news of the week, Mike Mayock. But before I get into today's topic, I have to give a big shout out to, you already know, the GOAT, Icy Nate, always coming in clutch with these thumbnails. So please, if you can, check him out on YouTube at IC_Nate, man. Go check him out. Go show him some love, some likes, subscribe, a comment, whatever, man. Whatever you can do, it always helps. But let's get right into today's video. Now, this right here, like I just mentioned, the Raiders fired GM Mike Mayock, and I know some of you guys may be very happy about it. Some of you guys may be in the middle. Some of you guys completely don't like it. Me personally, I'm kind of in the middle with it. I kind of felt like if we weren't to fire him, it would be delaying the inevitable. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to delay it a little bit. I kind of wanted to see what he can do when he really has the ability to run his show, really do what he wanted to do. And, at the same time, I was trying to look at it both sides, because that's kind of like how I like to do things. And at the same time, I was thinking, I'm like, at the same time, though, I don't want a GM that's going to allow the head coach to do everything, allow the head coach to persuade him on what he really thinks is right. And I felt like that's what Mike Mayock did a lot. I felt like he was kind of being a pushover, man. And I know Mike Mayock got a lot of knowledge and all that kind of stuff, but I don't want no pushovers in this organization. I kind of felt like that's what we were getting out of Mike Mayock if he were to stay. A guy that if somebody pushed hard enough, he was going to kind of fold and let them do it their way. And I didn't really like that. I didn't really like that. So I'm kind of disappointed, because I felt like we could have done some good things with Mike Mayock, but he missed on a lot of stuff. He hit on a lot of stuff, but you have to be, at the end of the day, you have to be much better in the earlier rounds. You have to be. And I know some will say it was Gruden. Some will say him, but at the same time, if it was Gruden, listen, man, you're the GM. You're controlling in our personnel grouping. You got to have a bigger say, man. And I at the same time, I wouldn't want to push over in this organization, but he's gone. Moving forward, there's a lot of things to look forward to, and we already have some news about the GM position, so I'm gonna get into that right now. Now, first one is the Raiders had put a request earlier, I believe it was yesterday, to speak and have an interview with with Patriots Director of Player Personnel, Dave Ziegler. I believe that's how you say his last name. We did interview him for our open GM position. Obviously, it's now open with Mike Mayock getting fired. I mean, I'm not too sure how to feel about this one. Patriots, whenever you got a coaching staff coming out of the Patriots tree, they always seem to be like really well prepared, really well coached by the people that were before him, and they overall have a good success record when leaving the Patriots and going to other teams. You got Vrabel, you got Flores. There's a bunch of people that have had success once leaving the Patriots after being, learning under Bill Belichick and the guys that have been before them. Now, he also has interviewed, Dave Ziegler has also interviewed for the Broncos, the Jaguars, the Vikings, the Texans, as well as the Dolphins. But the difference between his interview with us and with the Vikings and all those guys is that with us, he's going to be interviewing for the GM position, so the general manager position, and with those teams, he was interviewing to be a head coach. So it is a little bit of a different position. So who knows? It's kind of up to him. Does he want to be a GM? Does he want to be a head coach? It kind of falls more on him what he wants to do, because it seems like he has options, and I think it's about 6 options there on the table for him. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the near future with him. Do we go with him? Do we go forward with someone else? But it's interesting to see that we've, with Mayock already being gone, we're getting right to it immediately, and I like to see that we're being active early on, because I do want to get this new coaching staff in as soon as possible, get these guys learning under the new coaching staff really quick. Now, the next person is and this one I'm actually pretty intrigued a bit about, right? Because he's not really the option that I thought we'd go for, or a guy that I thought we'd go for. But the Raiders have also put in a request to interview Bengals Assistant Director of College Scouting, aka their lead scout. We requested to interview him. He goes by the name of Trey Brown. This is also an interview for our general manager position, and he is yet to get interviewed from other teams. Now, he's only 35. If he gets hired as a GM, he would be the second youngest general manager in the NFL. Only 35 freaking years old, man. That'd be crazy. As we all know, a lot of us in the Raider Nation want our staff, want our building to get younger, right? We want to have a new outlook in how we want this franchise to be built and how we want this to go in our future. And I mean, 35 years old, that's very, very young for a general manager. And it's not like he has no resume. He was with the Philadelphia Eagles from 2016 to 2018, and ever since then he's been with the Bengals. So his resume, I mean, it's not the greatest. Let's be honest, it's not the greatest. But at the same time, he's not a guy with no qualifications. He definitely fits what we need. A general manager, you know, he's had experience in 2 teams now. As we all know, the Bengals right now have a lot of success going for them. And just take a look at it, right? He was their lead scout for college players and free agents and all that kind of stuff. Well, let's just take a look at the Bengals options that they got right now on offense. They got T. Higgins, was drafted under him. Tyler Boyd, I believe, was a part of him when he came in. You got Jamar Chase. You got Joe Burrow. And, of course, you guys may say, well, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase were kind of no-brainers, but I wouldn't really say so, right? Because they could have went other directions. They could have went offensive line, but instead they chose to get offensive firepower. So, you know, he's done well in terms of scouting. So, with him being young, with him actually having some success over there in Cincinnati, obviously, he was a part of them, you know, defeating us this last weekend. But I'm very, very intrigued with this one because I definitely didn't think that we'd go out for a guy like this, but I do think that Mark Davis is ready for a culture change. And I feel like if you want to change your culture, you do have to get younger at every single position, whether it's player-wise, staff-wise, whatever it is. And I like this one right here. Like I said, the Bengals have had a lot of success, and I mean, let's be honest, they've had a decent amount of growth throughout these past years, and he's only been there since 2018, so not too long. We're saying that this would be his 4th year, and if he were to stay, it'd be his 5th. So I'm very intrigued on this one. It's not one that I honestly thought we'd go for, but I'm very, very intrigued with this option here. So what do you guys think? Trey Brown, would you guys be happy about him? It is a general manager position. It's not a head coaching position, but this next person I will talk about here is for a head coach option. Now, I know the Raiders put in the request to interview Ziegler as well as Trey Brown, but we have also put in our first request to speak with a head coach option, and he goes by the name of Jerod Mayo. He is the defensive coordinator / linebackers coach for the Patriots. So it seems like we're trying to stay on that side, right? We're trying to stay with guys that are within the AFC, that know our opponents, that have really competed against these guys that we're trying to beat, you know. And this one is very interesting, guys, because for those of you guys who know me, who have been watching this channel for the last couple weeks, when the first topic came up of maybe a new head coach, a new defensive coordinator, whatever, right? I always mentioned that I want our next head coach to be a defensive guy. I no longer want our next head coach to be an offensive guy. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like when we hire offensive-minded head coaches, they then feel like they have too much power and they receive too much power. But when there's a defensive-minded head coach, I kind of feel like they stick to what they know, they stick to the defensive side of the ball, and they actually allow the offense to be ran by a great mind at offensive coordinators. So this one right here, Jerod Mayo, he's, like I said, defensive coordinator / linebackers coach for the New England Patriots. This guy right here, the most interesting thing is that they run a multiple style defense, which means that they don't just stick to a 3-4, they don't just stick to a 5-2, a 4-3, they're multiple. They have all different styles of defenses in play. Now, it's not a horrible one like Paul Guenther, because as we all know, the Patriots defense has been pretty top notch this season. They've ranked pretty highly this season. And here's the thing, they do run a base 3-4 defense, so that's their stock defense. So that's what they come out in a lot. But like I said, there are multiple styles, so they go from 3-4 to 4-3, and they're able to switch between nickel and all this kind of stuff, very quick. And that right there is something that I like. I don't want to go to a defensive coordinator that'll just be one or the other. I want a guy that is either going to be 4-3 or, like Jeremiah runs his defense, both. He's able to go both ways. He's able to go 4-3. He's able to go to 3-4, and he's not scared to do so. And I really like that, man. I really do. It allows different players to succeed, right? If we're in a 3-4 defense, right, it allows guys like Cleveland, it allows guys like Trayvon Mayock to really succeed. When we go back into our 4-3, it allows guys like Max, Yannick, it allows guys like Denzel Perryman to really flash. It allows our outside corners to really flash. And then when you, like I said, you go back to your 4-3, you go back to your 4-3, it allows you to have Nate Hobbs on the field. But when you switch to a 3-4, Nate Hobbs isn't on the field, and maybe Max Crosby is limited to snaps, right? But I really like this option here. Wouldn't be my first option. My first option would be a guy like Eberflus, but this seems like it's our first guy that we've requested to interview for the head coaching position. So it's not like the first two that was general manager. This one is a head coach option. Would I be mad at it? Absolutely not. Would I love it? No, there's other options out there. Like I said, Eberflus from the Colts is probably my first option, but I would not be mad at this option at all. Obviously, I'd like for us to interview more guys before we made a final decision. But Raider Nation, what do you guys think about these new potential staff members that we can be getting in the near future? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But Raider Nation, that'll be it for today's video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Hey, man, you guys help me hit 3,000 subscribers. Let's try and hit the new goal of 3,500 subscribers, man. So let's see what we can do. Like I said, more and more content coming your way. The off season just started, so I'm really not happy. I wish our season was going continue to go, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and I'm glad to have brought this video here with you guys today. But like I said, that'll be it for today's video. Love y'all, nation, and I'm out. Peace.